throwing elbows. Trevor and Nicole with you on SportsCenter. You know who's not? Wemby, because throwing elbows. Timberwolves and Spurs getting a little bit chippy.
Also, thanks for playing Philly. Knicks gave them belt and the broom treatment. The biggest losers in the NBA season actually won something today, though. SportsCenter, well aware of what a flagrant 2 is.
Heat fouls one off right over toward Craig Alpernez. Oh, now we've got the mask on. All right, play ball.
In the NBA, this has been about as physical a series as we've seen this postseason. Spurs, Wolves, San Antonio with the 2-1 series lead going into Game 4 in Minnie. Early second quarter, Spurs down 2. Now, Wemby and Naz Reid are getting to it in the painted area. Eventually, that elbow would drop Reid. Wemby checking on himself. Reid is, working the jaw to make sure everything's intact. And yeah, on the replay, even Dylan Harper can't believe it. I almost called him his daddy's name. My fault, Dylan. Wemby hits Reid square in his jaw. Refs would eventually conference to determine that he would earn a flagrant 2 with that move and get absolutely tossed. He was unclear as to what a flagrant 2 was, apparently. The alien, apparently foreign language to him. Wemby gets ejected for the first time in his career, finished with 4 points. Stephon Castle had thoughts on the ejectocito cuz.
I saw the whole thing. I think I was asking Vic to throw the ball back out. But yeah, I saw that they was grabbing his arms. I feel like that's just a natural reaction to try and, move the ball away from them. But I understand both sides of it. Obviously he did hit him. So it's tough to have him out. Obviously nobody could make up what Vic does for us. So yeah, we just had to move on.
If the people that are in charge of controlling the game and protecting the physicality of the game don't do that, then at some point he's going to have to protect himself. Physicality that people try to impose on him and the lack of protection is really disappointing. And at some level, it's starting to get actually disgusting. I'm glad he took matters into his own hands. Again, not in terms of hitting Naz Reid, but let me be very clear about that. I'm glad Naz Reid was okay, and I didn't want him to elbow him, but he's going to have to protect himself if they're not. And I think it's disgusting.
In terms of taking the elbow, were you surprised? How much did it impact you? How much did it hurt? And have you been hit like that before in this game?
Pain is weakness leaving the body. That's it.
Well, that's one way to put it. Translation, it hurt. In the game itself, fourth quarter got a little wild. Minnesota down 6. Anthony Edwards, who was absolutely massive in the fourth. That pulled his team within 3. Then down 2, Edwards again, double, passes up. Why not hit another 3? And then there was this whole thing all game between him and Mitch Johnson. Let him know it. Timberwolves up 1. De'Aaron Fox almost loses the ball. Hits that shot. He had 24. Spurs back out in front. 4 minutes to go. Spurs down 1. Dylan Harper. He also had 24 to go with 7 rebounds. Back in front of the Spurs. Next Minnesota possession. Reid to Rudy Gobert. Layup and the foul. Now we're just going to flex. Everyone's going to flex. How are your biceps? It's 103-101. Edwards, after the Reid miss, there for the rebound and the finish. 36 points, but 16 of them came in the fourth. It's a 4-point lead. Ayo Dosunmu getting the ball, immediately doubled. Harper with the steal. Then it's Julian Champagny for the foul. He'd go to the line, make both of them. Spurs down 112-109. 20 seconds. Minnesota inbounding. Dosunmu gets the inbounds. They're trying to get the ball at the court, but the defense is good. Yes, the trap. Minnesota is forced to use a timeout. 13 seconds to play. Timberwolves need to get this over half court in like a second. McDaniels heaves it to Dosunmu. How in the how? I don't know how that's a turnover. In fact, no, that is a turnover. It's just that the turnover didn't actually happen.
You talk about Ayo. Did you see him try to catch that pass? Yeah. What were you thinking in that moment?
Roddy White, Atlanta Falcons.
Obviously, that is the receiver I would go with. What? Timberwolves win Game 4, 114-109. The series is now tied. Edwards got his 10th 35-point game of his playoff career, doubling up what all the other Timberwolves players have done in literal playoff history. This is also Ant-Man's second straight 30-point game and his third 30-point game of these playoffs. And the significance of Mother's Day, was not lost on him. Remember, Edwards lost his own mother back in 2015, and this one was for her.
Today is Mother's Day, and so I just wanted to win for my mom, and it was just that simple.
Was she on your mind all day today? Or
for sure, yeah. I couldn't lose this game for her, for sure.
He was special. You know, this is what he loves. This is what he lives for. You know, not just big games, but big moments. For the most part, when he wasn't doubled, you know, he got to his stuff quick and clean, and that's who he is. That's who you need him to be. We're lucky to have him, and he's special, no doubt, especially given what he's been fighting through over the last month and a half.
Okay, so given the physical nature of this here series, we got to get Kendrick Perkins in to discuss what we just watched. Wemby ejected in the first half after delivering that elbow. What's a lesson to be learned from Victor Wembanyama in that moment with those stakes?
Well, you got to keep your composure. That's number one. Number two, it was the right call by the officials. You had to throw him out because we all saw that it was intentional. He looked at him, stared him down, and delivered a blow, and he could have seriously hurted Nas Reed in that moment. And so at that time, I understand the game plan time and time again is to go out there and get physical with Wemby, try to frustrate him, but he has to keep his composure. And it's going to be interesting to see what the league determines or what they come up with as they continue to investigate this situation, because if he's suspended for Game 5, man, this may change the whole dynamic of this series. And all of a sudden, you could be looking up, because right now, the Timberwolves should feel good headed back to San Antonio tied 2-2. But again, if Wemby is suspended Game 5 and they shift and then Minnesota go in there and get the win, this is going to be one of these moments if Minnesota complete the mission that Wemby is going to look back and have all type of regrets. Because I truly believe, and I know I'm rolling with Minnesota in this series, but from what the Spurs been showing me, Wemby in that lineup, they really could go win the championship. But if he's not, Minnesota complete the mission, this is one of those seasons that he's definitely going to have in the back of his mind for the rest of his NBA career.
Now, I know you said it will change the complexion of the series, but it changed the complexion of this game, specifically in that fourth quarter when Ant-Man is getting off, scoring 16 of his 30-plus on the evening. What did you see from Ant-Man in that moment?
Well, I just saw a guy that wasn't waiting on anybody. We saw Anthony Edwards, who we thought he is, right? A special individual, and that's what he get paid the big bucks for, to take over games like this and protect his crib. And without Wemby in the game, the lane opens up, and Ant is so dynamic, and you have to respect his jump shot because he's one of the better three-point shooters in this game now. Once he get it going and he can get downhill with no 7-7 Defensive Player of the Year presence for him, then all of a sudden we see the results like we see tonight, a legendary performance from Anthony Edwards.
Okay, we got more to discuss with you, though, Perk, so stand by for us, all right?
All right, Trev.
I mean, in theory, the Knicks are seeking a sweep. You're welcome, Oven. I think that they're actually just going for world domination. Game 4 against the Sixers, 164. That is the 9 games of NBA postseason history, and it's about to get so much worse for Joel Embiid in the Sixers. The injured OG Anunoby, and he just went out and did perfection in the first quarter. He was 2 of 9 from 3 in the first couple of games, 2 and 3 combined. Perfect in the first. He finished with 7 of 9 game high, which was the story. Because the Knicks had 18 three-pointers, tied for the most in any playoff half with the 2016 Cavs. They finished with 25, which, by the way, everyone else was as well. The sweep is on. Knicks win 144-114, and the talk is, well, the fans.
It's a really cool feeling. It's something I said that I will always think is one of the coolest things in the world when you hear Knicks fans in opposing arenas, and it's a really cool feeling. I can't lie.
I got a lot of respect for you Knicks fans. I'm gonna applaud them too. Let's go Knicks. Great job.
Yeah, it absolutely sucks, if I'm being honest. It just sucks, bro. It just sucked, man. And yeah, it just sucks. That's really all I can say about it, man. Like, it felt louder here for them than it did in the Garden. But we got to put a stop to it as a team. Like, winning these games, that's what's going to make, our fans like louder than theirs or whatever. I don't know how to keep them out. I don't know the logistics of it, but you know, it does suck. I can't even lie. It definitely does suck.
There was they showed Joel Embiid and everyone started booing and I was just like, God, this is. I thought we were back at the Garden for a second.
Have you ever been on the road like that, where home fans show up and make that much noise in someone else's arena?
You knew?
No, I know.
Were you in Philly 2 years ago?
I was there.
You were there?
Given the circumstances and today, that's as loud as I think it was. Was it louder than then?
I mean, our fans are the best. Yeah. This is basically just a branch of MSG here. Yeah, I used to think Philly was a sports town. I don't know if it is anymore.
God, the disrespect from so many angles. The Knicks, though, are moving on to their second straight Eastern Conference Finals on the heels of their 7th straight win. It is their longest postseason win in franchise history, and that point differential is now plus 194 through 10 games, which is the best 10-game span for anyone ever in NBA postseason history. And then there are the Sixers.
I feel like I still played as hard as I could. I fought hard. I tried to give us a better chance to win. Didn't happen. So I look at myself and I got to be better. Maybe I got to go to church more. So I don't have those type of things right before the playoffs. I don't know. Maybe I'm cursed. I don't know. Maybe Philadelphia's cursed. Yes, but that's a joke. But just gotta keep doing the right things over and over and hope that at some point it changes. We came into the season thinking that there was not much left. Based on the last 2 years, and now I'm sitting here, not even worrying about my as a group to figure it out. What it takes and what we have to do to make sure we're in a quite frankly better position next year to play a lot of games.
Okay, so first things first, it's never good when you have to say that's a joke, right? Get that out the way. Perk back in the building. Knicks, get the process up out of the paint in emphatic fashion, despite the best efforts of one Joel Embiid. So what does this tell you about this Knicks squad after they've rattled off now 7 dominant wins in this postseason in a row?
Well, number one, they're coming out of the Eastern Conference. I don't give a damn who wins that series out of the Cavs in Detroit. I think the Pistons are going to take it. Number two, the Knicks could actually go win it all. They could go win the whole damn thing, led by Big Body Brunson. And guess what? It will be the 3rd time in the NBA history that a small guard leads their team to NBA championship. Mike Brown, what he has done is he has changed his offensive system and it's opened it up for everybody. He got playing some of the best defense in the postseason. They stick together, get OG Anunoby back into the lineup, get him healthy. This New York Knicks team could possibly go and win it all. They have the talent, they have the identity, and now they're clicking on all cylinders on both ends of the floor.
Expectations are sky high, clearly, and understandably so, but it will be a battle with whomever comes out of that Western Conference, to be clear. Big Perk, we appreciate it as always, Playboy.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Trev.
Still to come, we're going to go down a record to beat the Spurs 114-109 behind Anthony Edwards 36, 16 of them in the fourth. But his teammate Ayo Dosunmu had a couple of big plays, a couple of big spots late in this one. The and one to put Minnesota up 7. And then how is that not a turnover? Led to a couple of key moments. Ayo Dosunmu joins us now. I didn't expect to be going down a couple of rabbit holes that I did in getting ready to talk to you, but we'll get to that in a second. But first, for you, the and one or that insane inbounds play that was a turnover that wasn't, which was the more impactful play by you tonight?
I think I like that the inbound save when we had to throw it deep. I felt like a DB out there.
A DB, okay. You felt like a DB. But when asked after the game who you reminded him of, Anthony Edwards went with Roddy White. First of all, do you even know who Roddy White is?
Yeah, Falcons legend.
Okay, all right, just making sure.
Yeah, I know ball.
All right, if you were to be compared to any wide receiver or defensive back, who would you pick before Roddy White?
I ain't gonna lie. I feel like if I was a receiver, I'm like Julio Jones.
See, we're like, Julio's right there, and he went with Roddy White. But anyway, we digress. There you go, whatever. It was a great game for you guys, and obviously you now guarantee no matter what happens in San Antonio, you get a game back home again. How important was it in the absence of Wemby to do what you guys did tonight?
It was very important. You know, the playoffs is all about taking advantage when you get those opportunities. And it was unfortunate as a competitor for him to be, you know, removed from the game. But at the same time, we had to take advantage of it and had to protect our home court. And now, best of 3 series.
So when he does leave the game, how does that change the complexion of the game and what you are able to do?
I mean, of course, when he's out there, you feel his presence. On offensive and defensive end, he's one of the best players in the NBA. So when he's not out there, his presence definitely is missed. So we just want to take advantage of that and get the win.
You also had to take advantage, and you did, of the performance by Anthony Edwards. I mean, in the fourth quarter, he was just on a different planet. When he does what he does and takes over the game in that way, how does he bolster everybody else?
Oh, I mean, he in my opinion, should have been a clutch player of the year. So it just showed his testament to his work and how bad he wants to win. And when you have a guy like that playing at that level, you never want to spoil that night. So I wanted to do whatever I can to help him get the win for that special night.
Look, it's the NBA's Roddy White, guys. Roddy White 2.0. Thank you so much, Ayo.
Thank you very much.
One team's dreams of a #1 pick coming true.
The #1 pick goes to
the Orlando Magic. O'Neal,
that's a man's jam.
The Cleveland Cavaliers.
For LeBron James. The Dallas Mavericks.
They had a 1.8% chance.
This draft is as good as I can remember. We've never had a draft like this. I've never seen a freshman class this deep.
Well, the Wizards had all the right numbers plus the Powerball, and now they are getting the #1 pick in the NBA draft. It will be Washington's first pick at 1 since they took John Wall at that spot back in 2010. They had a 14% chance to get there, which was tied with Brooklyn and Indiana for the best odds. So who are they going to take? According to our Jeremy Wu, the Wizards are going to take AJ DeBonta, and then Darren Peterson will go at #2 to the Jazz. Then it's Cameron Boozer to Memphis, Caleb Wilson to Chicago, and Keaton Wagler to the Clippers. So there is another part of this story. Oh, by the way, remember when I said the Pacers were tied for the best odds to get the 1 pick in the draft?
Yeah.
And if they couldn't land that spot, they essentially would be happy with anything in the top 4 because the top 4 spot meant the Pacers would at least have a first-round pick, except for, no, they landed at 5, which means the Pacers don't have a pick in the first round now. That pick goes to the Clippers because remember this trade, the one for Ivica Zubac? The terms were Zubac from the Clippers for Benedict Mathurin and Isaiah Jackson plus 2 future first-round picks, 1 in 2029 and 1 in 2031, unless Indiana's first-round pick happened to fall between 5 and 9 this year, which of course it did. That's a tough pill to swallow, and it led to this apology from the team's president of basketball operations, Kevin Pritchard. I am really sorry to all of our fans. I own taking the risk. Surprised it came up 5th after this year. I thought we were due some luck, but please remember this team deserved a starting center to compete with the best teams next year. We have always been resilient.
Game of the season for the 76ers, or can they send the series back to New York? He fires up a 3. That's good. 3-pointer. It's good. 18 threes in the first half. That ties the NBA record.
Talk about a team right now that is just in such sync offensively.
The net looks as an all for Nick Nurse. A sweep completed here in Philadelphia.